makes me nervous. I don't mind the tire noise and stuff. I mean, like I said, you know, like you're saying, I mean, it makes it a little more dramatic, right?
Yeah.
But I had a Volkswagen, I had a 74 Super Beetle, and when you would make a turn, like a right turn, the driver's side door would pop open. But it would only do it every once in a while. So it would wait long enough, and then you would forget that it had that problem. Then the door would open up on you. And here I am. We're going around these turns. There's quite a bit of roll. You know, you get shoved over to the side. I've got no seatbelt on, and I'm looking over at this door, and I'm thinking, man, I hope that thing doesn't open up on me. Alright guys, welcome back to Heavy Metal Horizons, Cars, Airplanes, and Heavy Metal. So today's video is going to feature my buddy Phil Howard and his 1965 Volvo P1800. Now the video is going to start out with us meeting up with him at one of the local car shows, and then we're going to go for a ride in the car and he's going to tell us all about the car and what was involved in him restoring the car. Now the P1800 model was made from 1961 to 1973, and his is a 1965, but he has actually slightly modified the car with some parts from other model years. So in a way, the car can sort of be thought of as a resto mod. It's a really cool, I think, sort of underappreciated classic 60s car, and as Phil says later on in the video, it's a car that is classic, looks really good, but is also still relatively inexpensive to maintain and to own. I love this car because it has such a cool sort of classic James Bond vibe to it. Normally I would say buckle up and get ready, but this car has no seat belts, so just get ready. Let's check it out. All right, well, Phil, thanks a lot for showing us the car, man. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no problem, Max. Good to be back on the channel.
So we're about to go for a little drive here, but real quick, what is this this vehicle that we're sitting in here?
So my car is a 1965 Volvo P1800. I bought this car in 2015. I hadn't moved in 30 years, and I took 2 years to restore it, and now I'm just having fun with it, showing it all over the place, and
is this
driving as much as I can.
Is this your daily driver?
No, this is not my daily driver. I don't trust any other people in LA on the road to drive this every day.
Good call. So how much of the car was there when you bought it, and how much of it did you have to track down and get parts for?
Pretty much everything on the car was original to it. Okay. So I had every piece that I needed except maybe one or two.
Okay.
Some things needed to be replaced, most of it restored. Obviously, all the interior is brand new.
Right.
You can't really save that, but all of the mechanical aspects of it are original.
How about the engine? Is that the original engine?
The engine is the original matching numbers engine.
Okay.
So is the transmission. I've actually contacted the Volvo archives about it and have all of the original build numbers for this car, and everything matches. I'm the third owner on it, and I feel really lucky to have this car in my life. And
it's a beautiful car. Yeah. Obviously, yeah, you put a ton of work into it, restoring it, but it came out great, and it's unique. Right?
It is.
You never see these.
You don't see a lot of them. They only made about 35,000 of these cars total over about 11 years.
Okay.
And a lot of those have rusted away.
Right. Well, let's talk some more, I guess, as we drive here, but you can take us on a little Topanga sightseeing tour.
Yeah,
I keep wanting to
go through the mountain.
I keep wanting to put a seatbelt on, but it's just don't kill me.
Yeah, I'll do my best. And it does take getting used to not just instinctually reach for that. There we go. So one thing you're going to notice about this car, if you haven't already, is there's not a lot of sound deadening.
Yeah, I did notice that.
It's fun. It makes the drive interesting. What was that noise? Did I break something? Am I?
Yeah, the suspension is also pretty interesting. You really feel it turning even when you're not turning.
Yeah, the suspension I upgraded a little bit, just from more of a comfort sort of shock dampener to a Bilstein racing dampener.
Okay.
It's a little tighter, a little more nimble, but it does make it a little bit louder.
So, obviously, this is a very particular car to get and restore. I mean, what initially attracted you to this car?
Well, when I was looking for a project car, I needed something cheap that would be reliable when I was finished with it, so I didn't have to spend a lot of money on maintenance.
Right.
I would have loved to have been able to afford a classic Ferrari or something like that, but even if I could, the maintenance, they're always in the shop.
Right.
It would just kill me. So I was looking for something that was reliable and cheap, and that would look good, and that was a manual.
Okay.
I wanted a stick shift.
Yeah.
And I just did, about a week of research on my lunch breaks at work.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture of this, and it was pretty enough to catch my interest. And then I started reading more into them, and I found out that it just ticked all the boxes that I was looking for. And within a week, I was already looking specifically for P1800s.
Right.
And within a couple days of starting to look, I found this one, and I jumped on it.
What's the range in terms of value for these cars? Obviously, one that needs a lot of work is, I mean, what the one that you, like this car that you bought initially when it needed all the work, what did you get it for?
I bought this car for $3,000.
Okay.
Off of Craigslist.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so for a
great
cool
deal.
Vintage project car, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it was right around average selling price for a project car.
Yeah.
So it was fair. He got what he was looking for. I got it in my budget, so it was fair on both sides, but it was not expensive, and that was exactly what I was looking for to start with, because I've done restorations before with my dad, who's a big car guy, and restorations are not cheap.
Yeah.
They're very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You will always go over budget. No matter how tightly you budget for something and you think you're going to stick to it, you always somehow end up needing more and going over.
Yeah. Now, as far as, I mean, you said that the car was mostly complete when you got it, but were there any parts that were particularly hard to find, or any weird things like that?
There wasn't anything that was too difficult to find. I mean, I did have to go to different sources to get different things. The bumpers that I put on this are from an earlier model, and eBay was a wonderful tool to find things like that. All of the other things that are readily available or at specific sources that I had learned about through other enthusiasts and through Facebook. All the interior is brand new, like I said, and it came from all one source.
Okay.
They remake all the interior pieces, and they're actually where I got most of my parts, tie rods and other different mechanical aspects. But there were some things like the bumpers and the air intake on the cowl, which is a very rare piece. They only put that on the first 8,000 cars they made.
Wow, okay.
So I had to find that on eBay, and that was probably the single most expensive piece on the car, other than the whole car and the wheels.
Okay.
The wheels are wire wheels, which are not cheap to produce, but they are brand new. I was not about to put 50-year-old wire wheels on this, which could have a number of problems. So I went and just spent as much as I could on the wheels to make sure that I was safe driving this car and that it looked the way I wanted it to.
The wheels, to me, on any car, make such a huge difference in just the overall look of the car. So I feel like you're always justified in spending a lot of money if you're going to get the exact wheels that you want.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of look you're going for, and some of them are a little more expensive than others.
Yeah. And now you've taken this car to a couple of car shows, right, where you were entered in some competition there?
I was, yes.
Yeah.
I did take this car to a number of them. Not as many as I would like, just because I haven't had the time. But the ones that I did take it to, it was very well received. At one of them, I was the only Volvo.
Yeah.
The other one, I was most certainly not, because it was a Volvo-only show.
Right.
But I did very well with them. The debut show for this was at the 2018 San Marino Motor Classic, which they hold in San Marino, over by Pasadena every year. And I entered it in the only class that it would fit into, which was European luxury.
Right.
And I ended up taking first in class.
Yeah.
Which was a great thrill for me. I did not think I was going to get anywhere near that, considering the cars that I was up against.
Yeah.
The judges liked it, and
yeah, the uniqueness of it, I think, and the rarity, I think, really makes it stand out a lot.
Yeah, it definitely does. I've only seen, other than the one Volvo show that I went to, where I was one of many 1800s, still took second in class though.
Yeah.
Other than that show, I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 of these out on the road.
Yeah.
And at local car shows.
Well, I would imagine, I mean, it's probably a car, when somebody first sees it or they see it driving down the street, you don't know what it is unless you're a big Volvo fanatic. Because I think Volvo is a company where the overall look of the car has changed so much. I mean, most people, when they think of a Volvo, they think of like the 80s box, you know, or the wagon.
Brakes.
Yeah, the turbo brakes, right? And the wagons and that kind of thing. And I think when somebody thinks of a Volvo, this is not the first car that comes to mind.
No, it's not even like the 5th car that comes to mind. It's just such an oddball in their entire catalog of cars. I mean, even during this period when it was produced, the cars were more odd looking than anything else. They weren't really streamlined and beautiful like this car is. So
Yeah.
You say driving down the street, I've had people walk right up to this car at car shows and not know what it is. They have to look at the badging to figure it out.
Right.
They think it's something like a Ferrari or an Aston Martin.
What is that?
This stock is the overdrive. So every time, so it only has a 4-gear transmission, but you get an extra 5th gear with an electronically assisted overdrive.
Wow.
Very helpful cruising above 40 miles an hour.
Yeah. Let's check out the turning radius here.
It's a tiny car, so it should be good.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Only about 3 lanes wide. But like right now we're in 4th gear. And it's starting to get around 2,500 RPM. So I just push this in.
Oh yeah.
And you can hear the change in pitch.
Yeah.
It's a completely different gear. It's a whole another unit behind the transmission. And it's basically top gear. Since I amazingly broke the actual thermostat in there.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez.
This is the only way I can tell how hot my car's running. Which it doesn't look like it's too bad. I mean,
You check it on the hose, or what do you check it?
the top of the block.
The block.
There's no coolant running through it though, so it is going to be a little bit hotter than it should. But 270's not bad.
And there it is.
That's it.
Cool. Well, Phil, thanks a ton, man, for showing us the car.
Yeah, no
it was
problem.
Really
Anytime.
Cool. Great to take a drive in it.
Yeah. So she needs her exercise. So
Yeah.
this was a good day for her.
All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. I had a great time checking out the car. Huge shout out to Phil for taking the time to show us everything about the car. And also, guys, I'm going to put a link to Phil's Instagram down in the video description below if you want to check out some more photos of the car and so forth. If you guys enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.